Here it is on screen. Let's introduce our players.
Starting to the bottom left, we currently see our first Zerg player in this tournament. He's starting in blue, and it is StarTales Life.
And, of course, at the top right, in the red, for the Team Prime, formerly known as Boxer, he is MarineKingPrime.
And it will definitely feed the crowd in a little bit later, guys. So currently working on these subtle things. But right now, what we have is a Terran versus Zerg in game number 1. We are currently on Cloud Kingdom. And there they are, the crowd in in the theater. The French crowd is just simply crazy. It's really amazing.
They are so enthusiastic, man. You know, I remember always looking and seeing the French streams and how many views they got back in the beta even, and just being like, wow, there's a lot of French fans that didn't know that, but actually being here feels so different, so real. You guys can hear that. We have a 10 pool, in fact, coming out here from Life.
I like that a lot. Life immediately tries to be a little bit cheeky here. And you know, the one thing that Marine King is really known for is just going command center first without scouting at all, and this is exactly what he's going to do here. He queued up his SCVs, so he's playing the style that you would expect from him, and this is scary. This is really scary. As I said earlier, I feel he has to change things up. If he wants to go for something like this, for his normal build that everyone knows, then Life is just going for the counter build. And now with the 10 pool, he can put so much aggression on Marine King.
Yeah, the 10 pool is such a great choice for this map. It's a 2-player map. The rush distance is pretty far, but Marine King, for that reason, is very inclined to go for command center first, and he's doing the risky version. He's not doing what most Koreans are doing right now and making it part of his wall. This actually makes him extra vulnerable. He may have to force that command center to cancel. In fact, I just don't see any way he can hold this. He's going to have to cancel. He's going to be in a position of being so far behind, and when those lings arrive, there's nothing he can really do to react.
It's going to be so dangerous. It's going to be really, really dangerous for him. And I'm not quite sure. I completely agree with you. I'm not quite sure if he can hold that off. It all depends on how much Life does commit to this. We have the 4 Zerglings now already on the way. He's building another 6 Zerglings already out. He's getting number 7 and number 8. The Queen is on its way. Here comes the command center. The barracks is not even halfway done at this point. And here comes the Overlord. And Life knows exactly what's going on right now. He has the vision. He sees the command center. He knows the timing. Life knows everything that he has to know. And Marine King, he will have to cancel this CC.
And counter, he's doing the risky follow-up. He goes double gas behind this. He's not going for the multiple barracks follow-up. So he's only going to have a little bit of Marine production, and Life is going to be able to tear him apart. He actually takes down the SCV and runs into the main, preventing the wall. And if he stops that barracks, this could be horrible for Marine King. Here come the rest of the Lings. This could be game-ending.
And he blocks the spot. He blocks the spot. There is no supply depot. Suddenly the Zerglings are in. Here come the SCVs. He's trying to hold somehow. But only Tarzan can pull off something like this. The SCVs are coming in, and those Zerglings will do so much damage. Here they are, all 8 of them, and Marine King is losing units already. This is, like, horrible.
And great micro here by Life. He pulls back the weakened Zerglings. The SCVs do actually micro pretty well as in addition, but Marine King has already lost so many Harvesters, and Life is not done. He's actually going to run around, let his Zerglings regenerate their hit points, and then fight again. And every Marine that comes out could actually just be targeted down by these first Lings.
And he's losing so much mining time. The Marine is out, and for now he holds. But the thing is, he's down to 9 SCVs against 17 drones. And guys, let's not forget that the entire time the command center was actually not done. It's still not completed. We don't have the second mule.
Yeah, it's just now finishing. He has to morph that into an orbital that is severely delayed at this point in time. And Life is actually starting Zergling production again. He wants to put some more pressure on. He wants to make it so that Marine King can't actually mine down there.
He can Baneling bust if he wants.
Yeah, he can actually do so many different things. At this point, with him mining gas, it looks very likely he's going to go for that Baneling follow-up.
And the thing is, he knows everything. He has all the information in the game. He knows, okay, you just took the double gas, you're trying to pull something off, but you cancelled it. And he knows there is not going to be a siege tank. So at this point, he can do whatever he wants. He can try to go into the late game, can try to play it very safe, but he can also put aggression onto his opponent and just go for a massive burst. One of the problems that he's dealing with is that he was massively supply blocked, so that's why we see those 2 Overlords on the top of the screen. So finally, he can produce units again. A little bit of a slip here, but that is not going to affect him too much. Look at those Marines. Even those guys can't do anything against these Zerglings.
Yeah, Marine King's so desperately trying to keep those Marines alive. Forced to pull his SCVs now out of the natural. This is exactly what Life wants to do with this. You know, the opportunity for a Baneling bust, it was there. It's still there, but he goes for Lair instead and just denies Marine King's mining at this point. He's even going to maybe take out another SCV. Great micro here by Marine King. In fact, he saves it. That's unbelievable.
Saved the SCV, but the Ling is in and he sees everything. Still no gas. He also knows about the 3rd command center. Marine King is going to go all out now with his economy, and Life is aware of it. So he has all the choices at this point. He knows everything that's going on. He's in a position where he techs into Lair, gets additional gas, he has more drones than his opponent has SCVs, and even the mules don't make up for it. So Life is now in this perfect spot where he can do whatever. He can go for Nidus, he can go for Mutalisks, he can take his third base as soon as he wants. He has all the options. Marine King has nothing to pressure him.
Yeah,
nothing.
basically what Marine King has to do right now is defend against whatever Life throws at him, whether it's fast Mutas, whether it's Nidus, whether he just takes the third base and goes fast and festers, anything that Life wants, Marine King has to defend. And the choice has been made. It is Spire Tech. Marine King is trying to scout. He sees very importantly here that there is no third base. So now he knows, okay, I got to get some defense up. I don't know what's coming, but I need to prepare for something.
Yeah. Speed and Aspire, he can always throw down a Baneling Nest if he wants to. We don't have an engineering bay, there are not going to be any turrets. He needs a scan. Marine King needs information. At this point, he doesn't have them. I really like that he sends the engineering bay out, well, the SCV out to build the engineering bay to block the third base. That's very important for him right now. So at least he knows about the timing for the third base. That gives him a bit of a clue. He knows, well, you don't have a third base just yet, so most likely you went into tech. So I have to deal with some kind of tech by my Zerg opponent. But he goes into double factory. He goes into triple
factory, man. And this is basically exactly what Life is going to be happy to see. I mean, how are you going to be able to defend Mutalisk if you don't have turrets and you don't have any Marines? He's got 4 Marines out right now. That's it.
Marine King tries to go for a massive amount of Hellions, and he tries to sneak them in. If he can toast all those drones, yes, he's probably going to claim the game, or at least even the score. The big problem for him is, so far, Hellions can't shoot air.
That's true, man, at least in this current version of the game.
I don't think that's going to change within the next 30 seconds.
I don't think so. And Marine King now is making add-ons with his barracks. It doesn't look like he wants to make any additional Marines, at least not initially here. So this is going to get very bad for him. His barracks not in use. He's still sticking, of course, only with those 4 Marines. And yeah, in a bunker they can fight Mutas, but outside the bunker they stand no chance.
Right now, Marine King really, he puts everything on this one card. And it's the wrong one.
Yeah, exactly. It's the wrong card. He's going double armor. He starts that Infernal Pre-Igniter. Now, notice that Life is not committing too heavily with his Mutalisks. He starts a few, he gets +1. He's going to go into Mutalisks later on, but he's also transitioning into that Evolution tech. He's going to be able to get his upgrades out. But this first wave of Mutas is going to do so much to Marine King. He has no answer.
Yeah, and Life now also has the scouting information, which is even more important.
Yeah.
Because with him not completely committing to the Mutalisk, there is an opening for Marine King to sneak into Life's economy. So Life, with the information that he has, needs to build additional evolution chambers, block it, even go for spine crawlers. He doesn't have a roach warren, he can't go into roaches, so to have something is really important for him now. And he doesn't build anything. The Hellions are already streaming across the map, and I'm a little bit worried for Life
concerned as well, man. He didn't make any spine crawlers. He's only defending here with Zerglings. Pre-Igniter was cancelled, so he doesn't have Blue Flame, but even without it, he's going to do a devastating amount of damage. Luckily, Life did pull most of his drones away from this expansion.
Marine King doesn't have the numbers just yet. This is a big problem. And still the Mutalisk in the main base doing so much damage.
37 workers killed for Life, and Marine King with a measly 3 kills. Not able to do anything with these Hellions. The supply is 86 to 42. Marine King looking so in trouble in this first game of the series.
He's going for Thors, and this is a perfect reaction to what he has scouted so far. Blue Flame would be important to him so that he can go for a Hellion and Thor composition and then deal with the Zerglings, deal with the Mutalisks. But at this point, he's up against the 3-base economy of his opponent. He's still looking at a Harvester count of 21 SCVs. Yes, he has the triple mule, but what good is that going to do him against 56 drones?
Not a whole lot, man. He can't even mind the the Thors are out, but they can't chase the Mutas away. Now come in the Lings. He's going to lose that bunker, and then once the bunker is gone, the Thors can't come off that ramp, or they're going to be surrounded by Lings and Magic Box by the Mutas. Marine King can't even mine from his natural. He does get some good shots off on those Mutas, but I just don't think it's going to change the fact that he's contained now, and Life is transitioning. He's getting his upgrades. Everything is coming out right for him. He's even starting a Roach Warren at home right now because he knows that's all he really needs.
Exactly. With the Roach Warren, that's the perfect composition that he needs in order to deal with his opponent's mech play. So Roach Warren, a smart choice for him, still dominating the map with the Mutalisks and the Zerglings. He has the perfect map control, taking his 4th now. Yes, if you want to nag a little bit, you could say he could have spread his creep a little bit better, but at this point, what does he really matter?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to his Mutalisks at all. He's still pressuring Marine King. He's still put him in a spot where Marine King can't move out of his own base.
Exactly, and his production is so limited right now. Marine King is stuck at 62 supply. If Life wanted to trade his Mutas against turrets and Thors and lose all of them, he would still be ahead in this game, and Marine King wouldn't even be able to counterattack him. At this point, he's now starting to move across the map. He's attacking on 2 fronts, a very small link force at the front, but the Mutas actually take out a very important refinery, and as Terran players know, and even non-Terran players know, if you're going for mech, you need all the gas you can get. Losing refineries at this stage in the game from Marine King is going to put him further and further behind. He is at half the supply of life right now.
Yeah, life is in the perfect position once again. 4th base coming up for him. Infestation Pit is not neglecting his tech. We don't even have the siege mode yet for the siege tanks. So Life dragging this game out a little bit. He could have tried to go for the Baneling Bust that we talked about earlier. Decided to play it safe, and this means that he has to pay attention to what's going on. He can't be negligent for a second here. He needs to make sure that if there's a chance, he has to snipe a few tanks, because Marine King, what he's trying to do now is just build up a massive army, turtle on 2 bases, and then move out and take down as much as possible. Trade well, and put the momentum into his opponent's heart and take him out.
Exactly. This is his turtle phase, where he's just trying to sit back and build up that one army and hope to win one fight and then go across the map and win. But Life is just not going to really give him that chance. He takes out the turret here. That turret definitely not enough for this many meters. All he wants to do is deny gas mining, because he knows what Marine King's composition is, and he will deny that gas.
It's so smart. It's really smart what he does. This is the 2nd refinery that he takes down, and a Terran player on 2 bases has a tough time getting the gas to make a map composition work. And Marine King is really struggling because of this Mutalisk harassment. So Life getting also the infestors. He's going into more roaches. He has a very mobile force with a few Zerglings on the map, getting all these upgrades. And talking about that, upgrades are going to play a major role later on.
Yeah, they really are. And I mean, if you think about it, he can actually just go in the front with these roaches and try to poke away at Marine King's army. If he trades a few roaches for 1 siege tank, that is going to be a great trade for him on 4 bases now. The creep is starting to spread. He has hive tech on the way. Marine King is desperate right now for a good engagement, and Life is actually starting to break down those rocks outside of his base, getting ready for the attack.
Yeah, Marine King at this point is just trying to turtle a little bit towards his 3rd base. You can see the turrets that are being set up at the choke point. He wants to get to the 3rd, and there it is. We have now the command center on the low ground. The Infest is getting a little bit cheeky and actually occupying Marine King to the right. He pulls all his Hellions there, and at the same time, Life is moving in at the 3rd base. He wants to take it out, and with all those Mutalisks, he has a good shot. There's the lift. The Mutalisks are on the move. Where are the Thors? They need to go in right away, and they are immediately trying to defend the command center, so the Mutalisks back off, but Life achieved what he was trying to do, delaying this 3rd base for even longer.
He forces the lift, you know, and even if he doesn't kill it, Marine King is not mining. Life is now maxed and starting Spine Crawlers at home. He's playing this almost like Zerg versus Protoss at this point. He's going to be able to defend against Hellion drops with those Spine Crawlers if he faces them. With the mutas on the map, though, Marine King is going to be pretty reluctant to attack like that. Thor's getting some good shots, but there's a ton of infested Terrans coming down here. Marine King needs to trade well, but so far he's not.
The siege tank's not being sieged up. Here come the SCVs. He's trying to block, buying a few precious seconds for the siege tank to get into siege mode, but it's not going to work. Here comes Life, taking down another tank. The Thors are trying to do their best against all these Mutalisks, and they were able to kill every single one of them. But Life doesn't even have to trade cost efficient here. The guy is on 4 bases.
He's got a greater spire.
He's getting a 6. He's going into Broodlords right now. Life is dominating Marine King here.
Yeah, Life takes an early lead in this game, and now starts to make Marine King almost look silly with how much damage he's able to do. Great targeting on his roaches, targeting down every single SCV he can get his hands on. Right now, the Harvester count is 81 to 32, and you can guess whose favor that's in. 2 siege tanks at a time coming out from Marine King, but his production is just so limited, and Life is starting to build a bank here. He starts 10 Corruptors, and once those become Broodlords, Marine King with no Viking production is basically going to have to GG.
And here come the Lings again. He's just trying to occupy him, and he's whittling down those numbers with the siege tanks. Marine King is always trying to build up this number where he can move out. Resources lost are exactly the same, but the resources mined, that is the bigger issue here. And if you just think about it, what's the biggest problem as a Zerg player when you want to go into Broodlords? Time.
Exactly.
Your opponent is trying to hit a timing. He builds up a siege tank composition, or in general just a mech composition, and as soon as he hits a critical number, he moves out, and this is the part where you have to defend and buy yourself some time as a Zerg. Marine King can't even move out. There is no way.
He's stuck. He's struggling to even mine from his 3rd base. He's got only 1 refinery up over there. He's trying to make some turrets, but turrets do not range Broodlords, and that refinery actually is not even being mined from right now.
We have life everywhere. The guy could draw a heart with the creep tumors at this point.
He could do anything he wants. Marine King is really a trooper in this game, trying to stick with it, but life is not going to give him a chance. +3 on the way for Marine King. That's very precious resources spent, and those Broodlords may just make Marine King type GG. He's got no response.
Yeah, life could write a poem with Zerglings on the minimap, and there is the GG as Marine King ends it. Game number 1 in favor of life here in the best of 5, our first